the vet and you're looking for a healthy weight, right, for your cat. Some cats are giant, right? You don't want your cat to be too teensy-weensy. You don't want them to be too big because then there's all kinds of health issues. So you say, your vet says to you, okay, I want your cat to weigh at least 6 pounds, but no more than 18 pounds. That's the fat cat. All right, mine's about like 10, I think. Some people's cats are like 22, 23 pounds. That's giant. All right, so write a compound inequality to represent what the possible weights could be for your cat to be in a healthy range. So you could do this a couple different ways. You can write them separately first if you want. I'll take you one step at a time. So, okay, I want my cat to be at least 6 pounds. Can he be 6 pounds? Yeah, let's use P for pounds. So he can be 6 pounds, okay? But I don't want him any more than 18 pounds. He could be 18 pounds, but he's got to be at least less than or equal to 18. And now you need to take those two and write them as a compound inequality with P in the middle, which at that point you can choose to say 6 is to the left of 18. That's how I want to do it. And as long as 6 is to the left of 18, it's got to be less than or equal to 18 and greater than or equal to 6. Both of these should face the same direction when you're talking about an in-between range. Okay? Does everybody understand that? If you, for some reason, you just really want that 18 there and that 6 there, then your weight has to be what compared to 6? Greater than or equal to it, but then less than 18. So the order that you choose to put your numbers in is going to depend on the direction of your signs. Neither one is right or wrong. I mean, they're both right. Okay, how would that be different than this? What does the word between mean? If something has to be between, what if he changes and says, nope, it doesn't have to be at least 6 pounds. I want them between 6 and 18 pounds. Can't be 6 pounds, that's not enough. Can't be 18 pounds, that's too much. Then the only way that this would change would be what? It would take that line out from underneath, right? If something says in between, it cannot include the numbers on either end, which would mean 6 and 18 would go here, and it would just be that. Do you understand that example? Yep. Okay, so in your book, what if I give you a visual? So let's say that there is a crane. And this crane, I'm just going to show you the picture. This crane can lift anywhere from 4 feet to 16 feet, okay, or 18, right? That's going to be. So right away, I should be looking at that and go, oh, first of all, let me see if it can be 18 and it can be 4. So you got to really read what it says. A crane sits on top of a camera car and faces the front. The crane's maximum height and minimum height. Okay, so maximum height means that's as high as it can go. Is it going to have an equal thing underneath? Yes. And the minimum height means that's as low as it can go. So then, basically, my inequality is going to say 4 and 18, H, and as long as my 4 and 18 are here, it has to be less than or equal to 18, but greater than or equal to 4. And if I were to graph that, it would look like this. Are you following this? Okay, are you starting to kind of see how the word problems come into play with the compound inequalities? All right, I could give you stuff like this all day long, right? So if I were to say, an investing company buys shares for stock and is going to sell them. Actually, I'll just let you read this. Oh. An investing company shares and will sell them if the change in value from the purchase is less than $3 or less than negative $3 or greater than $4.50. Be careful. It's a small teensy-weensy word, but what do you see? And it's not in bold and it's not in italics, but I see the word or right there. This is not an and. Don't write it combined. This is easy. When you see an or, you're going to be like, sweet, I don't even have to worry about combining it because you can't combine ors. So basically what they're saying is they will sell if it's less than -$3, then a big fat word or, if the cost is greater than $4.50. And this said greater than or less than. It didn't say they'll sell at -$3 or they'll sell at $4.50, okay? So you are looking for the word and and the word or, because that dictates everything, okay? Let's talk about one more quick multi-step and then we're done. So if you are interested in science, this is kind of fun and interesting. So the Mars Exploration Rover, let's look at this. Opportunity and Spirit. These are two different robots. They're sent to Mars in 2003. They're going to gather some information about the planet so we can bring it back and figure out all kinds of different forms of life. The temperature on Mars can range anywhere from 0 degrees to 100 below Celsius, okay? So as soon as you read the problem, right off the bat, are you picturing a compound inequality? And whenever you hear the word range, you know it's going to be an and, meaning it can go as low as 0, and this is in Celsius, or it could go, oh, sorry, we have this backwards. It could go as, and it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to put, I like my numbers here, or as high as 0. This is the degree Celsius. That way I know when I have my lowest number here that it's going to be both facing to the left. So that's part one. This is a multi-step problem though. For most problems, that would be it. It would be write an inequality to represent this. Done. But that's not all they're asking you. Write a compound inequality to describe it in Fahrenheit. Okay? Solve the inequality, then graph your solution. Well, here's the deal. You know from science, you didn't make it to 7th or 8th grade without knowing that Fahrenheit and Celsius are different. Do you know the conversion factor between Fahrenheit and Celsius? Anybody? Has something to do with 5/9. So if you were to take a look at, to figure out the Fahrenheit degrees, Celsius is actually equal to 5/9 times the Fahrenheit minus 32 degrees. Have you seen that before? Okay, so if your science teacher has ever done any of converting with you, this is the formula you use. If you know what temperature Celsius is, you put it here and solve for F. If you know what the degrees Fahrenheit is, you put it here and solve for C. Okay? So I don't know the Fahrenheit temperatures yet, but if C is equal to this whole thing, what do you think I should do with that whole thing? Put it in for C. Okay? So watch what this is. This is me taking my original inequality and making it look like this. -100 is less than or equal to Celsius, which, by the way, is 5/9 the difference of Fahrenheit minus 32, and that's equal to 0. So did you follow that? I came up with this. I want to know it in Fahrenheit, what those temperatures are. So I have to convert using this formula. And now this brings us back to solving an equation with 3 sides. What should I do first? Does anybody out there feel like distributing 5/9? No, I don't. I don't want to do 5/9 times 32, so let's get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? This is a common theme. It's been popping up, Blake. Good, so let's multiply by the reciprocal of 9/5 here, of 9/5 here, and of 9/5 here. So by doing that, I just canceled out the 9 and the 5 here, which is great, which saved me from having to distribute. 0 times anything is 0. 5 fits into 100. How many times? 20. Don't forget it's negative. And 9 times -20 is -180. Now I'm kind of almost home free. I have to just solve for Fahrenheit. which means I have to do what now? Add 32 to both sides. And that's going to tell me that my Fahrenheit temperature, if it was, negative 100, it's going to be 32. Take 30 away from this. That's going to give you 150. So we are at 148. And if 0 and 100 below are your Celsius temperatures, your Fahrenheit ranges are 148 and 32. Okay? Does this make sense? So you're going to be asked to just kind of look at some of the word problems and think about, they're either going to talk about, hey, it's either this or that, or it's got to be in between. Okay? All right. That's what we're working on today then. So I'm going to have you